Hi everybody, and this is going to be a very different kind of video for me. Some of you may have been wondering where the weekly vlog has been this week, and there is a really good reason why I haven't put one out, and I haven't really been active on any of my other royal related channels. And that's because on Tuesday I had a little bit of a medical drama, and I wanted to talk to you all about it because I do think that even someone who's got such a small corner of the internet like myself and Matt, I think it's important to be honest. It's important to be raw with you guys and talk to you about things that happen. This is real life, and what I'm about to talk to you about can happen and does happen to anybody and everybody at any stage of your life. So on Tuesday, I had a bit of a medical drama, and I'll tell the story all the way through. So hopefully you'll stick with me until the very end. Do excuse my speech slightly. It's related to the medical emergency. So on Tuesday, I had a meeting in my local village. I'm a member of a group, and I was walking to that meeting. It's not far away from my house, and I felt something was wrong with my mouth, almost like an allergy. I felt like I had a bit of a sudden swelling of my lip. Then I went through the whole meeting, and I was sort of touching my lip, trying to work out, is it a problem with my tooth? It felt really weird. And then I lasted the whole 2-hour meeting. Nobody noticed that there was anything wrong. No one said anything to me. But all the way through the meeting, I was sort of poking and prodding and feeling like there was something wrong. Then when I got home, I said, Matt, there's something wrong with my mouth. So I looked in the mirror for the first time, and I realised that my top lip had shifted to this side. The centre of my lip is now sort of over here when it's normally over here. So Matt decided to call 111, which is like our sort of lesser emergency number here in the UK. We did get through to someone who wanted me to go see a doctor, but I did take an antihistamine because at that point I still thought that it was to do with allergies. Anyway, we didn't go and see a doctor on the Tuesday night because I thought maybe it would get a bit better overnight. Then I woke up the next morning and it was worse. So I thought, right, we need to go to a doctor. So I phoned my regular GP, and they said, go to accident and emergency. So on Wednesday, at around about 10:30, bearing in mind I'd had no breakfast and I'd had nothing to drink all day at that point, we went to A&E, expecting, maybe be there about 3 hours. Turns out we were there close to 7 hours, and it took about 2.5 hours just to see the triage, and then we had to wait to see an actual doctor. All the staff were really lovely in the National Health Service, but they are massively underfunded, and it did show. Then he basically diagnosed me as having Bell's palsy, which can happen to anybody. And I do have, a little bit of information sheet about it. Bell's palsy happens suddenly. It may start with pain behind the ear for a day or two. I didn't have any pain, it just came on, and results in a drooping of one side of the face. In most cases, it is caused by a virus. Sometimes the virus is shingles when the whole event is associated with pain. Well, I've not had a bout of shingles, and I'm not in any kind of pain whatsoever. The first 6 weeks determine whether the nerve is merely resting or whether it is damaged and needs to grow back again. The roots will still be intact. So this is something that I will definitely recover from. The question is when. How long will it take? Will it be 6 weeks? Will it be 6 to 9 months, potentially? In 80% of cases, significant recovery happens within 6 weeks. And there's a whole list of instructions of things for me to do. So I got diagnosed with Bell's palsy. As part of a new procedure, I also had to have a CT scan of my brain just to make sure that there wasn't any tumour or anything, any blood clot that could have been causing the nerve to behave in this kind of way. So the CT scan didn't show, fortunately, thank God, it didn't show any signs of stroke or anything untoward. There's nothing wrong with my brain. I do have a brain, it is still there, it is normal sized, and it's working properly. But they did find that I'd got sinusitis, which could have been a cause because it did say about viruses. So the inflamed sinuses could be pressing on my nerve or doing something with my nerve. It could be related to that. It could also be related to stress, could also be related to a whole host of things, and we're never going to 100% know. A few years back, I did actually have shingles, so maybe I've come into contact with the chickenpox virus at some point and it sort of skipped the shingle stage and gone straight to the palsy. I don't know. But anyway, so I was diagnosed and I'm on a course of steroids for 10 days. So you can see why I didn't really fancy, I had to cancel my patrons chat yesterday. I didn't feel up to it. And why there was no weekly vlog. I literally couldn't really film when I was going through all of this. So Q sort of waking up on Wednesday and then today, it was worse. It's gotten worse since I saw the doctor, not to the point where I need to see the doctor again, but it has got worse. So now if I run through all the things that it's actually affected, and it is tough trying to adjust to life with, let's face it, a partially paralysed face. So it is tricky. And I'll just run through quickly all the things that it's affecting me with. So it's basically this whole side of my face. So that's why this is the weak side, this is the normal side, so everything pulls this side. So I can't raise my eyebrow. I can do the other side, but I can't do that side. It's like I've been Botoxed. I literally can't raise that eyebrow at all. Normally I can raise an eyebrow. My eye, I can close, but it doesn't quite close all the way and there's no resistance. So if you just literally touch my eye, it goes straight up. There's no muscle control that's pulling it down, which is difficulty when I go to sleep because my eye is like partially open. So I've just today bought some tape, some medical tape to sort of tape my eye down. I am supposed to use eye drops and things, which I do anyway for my dry eyes. So that's no different, but people with Bell's palsy are supposed to use eye drops because your eye can dry out because it doesn't close properly. Also, my cheek is completely numb. It almost feels like, when you go to the dentist and you have the numbing, it feels like that. I literally can't. I can feel the skin, it's still got sensation, but the muscle side of it is completely numb. Then going down obviously to my lip, this is all, it's got no control. So the strong side is pulling it towards this side, which means that when I smile, it's more of a grimace. I look like something from Wallace and Gromit. It's ridiculous. So for photos, I'm going to have to be like... but to be honest, if you Google Bell's palsy, you get some people are so very affected by it. Some people's lips are like down here and their eyes very droopy. So to be honest, I've got off very, very, very lightly with how I am. So I am really, really lucky, and fingers crossed it won't get any worse, but some people are severely affected by it, and it can last the full 9 months if they've got total nerve damage for it to grow back. So I am lucky. I am very, very lucky, and thank goodness it's not too bad. But it does cause a whole host of problems. Drinking, I can't form a proper seal. If I try and purse my lips, that happens. So you can imagine when I'm trying to clean my teeth, normally you can hold the water in your mouth with a seal. I can't, it just falls out. So that's a bit of a pain. I say smiling is weird. Talking, it can affect, I feel like I'm talking normally, but my lip and my mouth is trying to catch up. That's kind of how it feels. And it does feel numb. It just feels numb. The side of my tongue is numb as well. Not numb, but it's got less sensation, and I've got a loss of taste on the one side, which is really weird because things that I know are rough, like I don't know, like a rough McDonald's fry, for example, feels smooth and slimy. It's not, because I've felt it with my fingers, but the sensation has gone. Also, the ability to manipulate food in my mouth and move it around properly, that has gone. You do not believe how much you actually use your cheek for food manipulation. You think it's all, your jaw and your tongue. It's not. it's also your cheek, because things get stuck and I can't get them out, so I'm having to put my finger in to get food out that's stuck, and it's terrible. I'm also struggling with certain types of food, like any sort of stodgy bread, or I had a baguette the other day. I didn't work out because it was too thick and I couldn't manipulate it around my mouth. So adjusting to life like this for however long it's going to be, it will get better, it will get better. So I know it will get better. But adjusting to life with a partially paralysed face is very, very different. And I think I'm taking it all in my stride. And like I say, I'm on these steroids, this course of steroids for 10 days. So some people it helps, some people it doesn't. I don't know if it's going to work for me, but it is an immunosuppressant. So while I'm on this course, you know, I'm sort of probably best not going into places where there are loads and loads and loads of people. I am still going out for Matt's birthday, which is coming up, but that's to, you know, a place that's not going to be terribly too busy. So, you know, I am still going to go. They do say in the leaflet, don't shut yourself away, don't feel embarrassed, because, you know, some people might feel embarrassed about how they look or how they're talking or how they're coming off. And I think it's important to realise that you are you, and you are still important, you are still valid, you are still beautiful, and people are still going to love you for you being you, and they aren't going to care what you look like. And it is temporary, you know, people recover from this. It's just a matter of how long it takes. So I would say get out there, do all the things you're supposed to do. Oh, drinking as well is a bit of an issue, because I'm trying to make the seal around a cup and sometimes it kind of misses and comes out. Anyway, it's a whole new way of living for however long I've got to adjust to this for. So I just thought I'd make this video to tell you why I've been a little bit absent from the internet. I will post a link to this video on my other channels as well, so you're probably watching this from Royal Reviewer, or from my Elliot channel, or of course from Elliot and Matt. So life still continues, life still carries on as normal. I will be putting out a weekly vlog that will be airing probably it won't be next Tuesday. Might be next Tuesday, because that is Matt's birthday. It will be early in the first part of the week, so it'll be almost like a 2-week vlog, but there will be a big section missing where I didn't film because of this. So anyway, fingers crossed it won't get any worse. Fingers crossed it's going to get better a lot quicker. I do have an inkling that the nerve hasn't completely gone. I feel like, you know, like when you're numb from the dentist and you can still feel that you've got muscle there. It feels like that. So I still feel like it hasn't gone completely. So I'm hopeful that I could recover fairly quickly, but we'll see. If it takes 9 months, it takes 9 months, and I am just going to have to deal with it and, you know, big boy pants on and just deal with it. So thank you for watching. I do apologise profusely for not having the weekly vlog out. I know some of you left comments really missing it. It will be out, and we do have some house tours coming out, filmed before this, over the next 3 weeks as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you when I see you. Mwah to you all, and goodbye.